deduction was ever.
That was covered in a different way, but you're right there.
It's covered by the earnings of the system, strictly.
Let's bring it to a close, because we need to move on to disabilities.
Could I make a comment to hopefully wrap it up? Okay, back to Sue's point. I mean, Sue, I think, was trying to say something in a very pointed way to our retirees, and I think that was well said. In order to maintain the benefit that exists for retirees, I think that supersedes what small amount might be asked to pay for it. And I think in the case of trying to get the equity issue resolved, I think that that's an important one. And it really is better. I mean, I think there will come a time that retirees will be saying, oh, I would gladly pay that $100 or $130 a month for that benefit. That's nothing, because it really is not much for a quality plan, as Tim called it, the Cadillac plan. You know, and I think it makes sense, and I think it definitely makes sense because we don't want to be rash and move forward to start changing plans around without that initial information. But I think this is a step that we can consider, and I wanted to see what Tim, our director, thought in terms of what do you think a game plan should be. I think we need to get this wrapped up, but we need to also say, okay, so what's the next step going to be? Are we going to try to really do a more detailed analysis and get something done by October? Or do you think it would be better to go in the direction of what Sue's talking about? It would deal with the equity issue, it would bring in some revenue, and then we would have additional time if we got to work. We still need to get right to work to try to bring something forward, and it would actually end up being later in '09.
My thought now is to play nice with HR and go to Linda and say, let's try to get around any personal differences that we may be having, and let's work on trying to get the information that Gordon started getting but didn't fully understand, or for whatever reason didn't get us the good information, and see if we can do good information. So I'll take that step with her and see if, I mean, the big issue is whether I can go directly to the actuary or I had to go through her. Let's go through her. But
So you want to amp it up and get going on it quickly?
ask that she...
Yeah, next week I think we
Then-
need to have that.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can get it for our meeting next week.
Okay.
If Gordon is around and he can put the information together, and good information. I need to be able to either talk directly with him or give the information to her where his faults, the problems were in the information they gave us. See if we can get it working. There's really no reason that we should be butting heads on this and causing
Right.
it not to happen just because of...
But if we're
No.
absent that occurrence, for whatever reason, or the data doesn't suggest something that we want to make a change on right now, or whatever, we can't give agreement with board members, whatever it is, do you think something along the lines of what Sue's talking about is an interim, is a possibility that we could explore?
I would look at an interim possibility of saying we charge what the Medicare retirees pay for Plan B.
So you think that would be that's
An alternate, yeah.
an alternate option that would make sense if we can't
Right.
get the data to look at a larger, more comprehensive review and change?
Yeah, I would go
I just
along
wanted
with
to see what you thought of it.
that. I think the
Okay.
idea of looking at keeping the younger retirees in the county's plan saves more money in the long run, but we have to do something to, real quick math, I think $100 a month would be about $480,000 a year, so it is some savings that we would incur if we went with that plan. $130 if we went to the
Yeah.
current charge for Plan B, which I think is more than fair. I think since we forced the Medicare
They
recipients
don't have a choice.
to have Plan B, or they're not covered by our insurance, I think it would be fair to charge the people who don't have Medicare the same fee.
So we can spend some more time, a few more weeks through to our next meeting. If we can't get something going with the county that is more comprehensive, then we could bring that topic back for consideration here. And that you would support doing that? Okay, good. All right.
Let's bring that to a close when we take a break for a couple of minutes, and then we'll go into disabilities.